Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a jam-packed episode with some of the most exciting and mind-boggling topics in tech. First up in the news, the AI talent wars. They are at a boiling point. We're going to dive into the shocking reasons why Meta is reportedly offering $100 million salaries to poach talent from other AI startups. Then we're taking a look at where 3D printing is on the Gartner hype curve and what that means for its future. Is it hype or is it about to change everything? And finally, we've got a killer demo of the new app called Lovable, built with a cutting-edge technology known as the vibe coding. We'll show you how it works and, more importantly, break down 3 of the best ways to make money with vibe coding in 2025. This is an episode you won't want to miss. But before we jump into it, I just wanted to give you a quick intro. Both my co-host and I come from business backgrounds. Nick was a co-founder of Tile, the item tracking device, which sold to Life360 for $205 million. I worked in big tech and enterprise sales for 14 years. I was able to hit my early retirement goals at 39. We're trying to build a business community with this channel that identifies the biggest business opportunities for both entrepreneurs and career professionals in tech. So, if that interests you, please subscribe and drop us a like. As a new channel, every bit of support helps, and we try and read and respond to every comment. And I've included a link below for a free ebook of getting into the high-paying profession of tech sales. Okay, let's get into it. We are back, Nick.
Whoa, we back, Peter?
We're back, and you know what we're discussing? The AI talent wars.
Ooh, juicy. There have been some big offers for just employees. Yeah.
The amount of money flowing around the AI space right now is absolutely crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
So far beyond what is crazy. Like, crazy is $1 million per year. Holy crap. A starting bonus of $5 million. Jeez. These are $100 million payouts for a single employee.
That's right. As the news headline shows here, Anthropic CEO says that his employees are refusing Zuckerberg's $100 million payout, and he's not even matching salaries to keep them.
How cool is that? Like, I
think some of them might take it. I don't know. We'll see how things play out. I mean, how do you turn down $100 million? Now, I'm sure some of these employees probably were pretty early and have like a ton of equity and already are more money they know what to do with. So it's kind of like they're playing with house money. Why do they need another $100 million? They already have one, you know. So I think there's an element of that. They're already
Maybe
rich.
They're really bad at math.
I mean, $100 million offer to turn that down to stay at that company, like, boy, would that take that? That would take some discipline.
Okay, right. But why would someone in their right mind do that? Why? Right?
I mean, they must really believe in the vision of Anthropic more than the vision of Meta.
Yes. I mean, and actually, that's not too hard to do. Meta.
that's. That part I do get, but you know, I don't. So it might be what's interesting is the details of it. We don't know. We don't know exactly the details of the $100 million payout. Is it all in stock and subject to, you know, over a certain amount of years? If the project is successful, you get paid this, and this. Is it incentive related? And if so on, then is there, you know, more risk associated with it? I don't think it's just to come here, we write you $100 million in day one check, and then they can quit in 2 months and go back to Anthropic.
So here is one potential take. You know, I submit that some of this, that some of the reason they're saying no to $100 million offers is that people at Anthropic actually do believe that the world is going to be completely different in 5 to 10 years, that having $100 million in the bank is just not the same as it is today, because there's potential, just weirdness, right? You know, what if the US dollar crashes? Then maybe everyone will have $100 million. But I mean, what if there's potential for AI to take over the world, to kill everyone, right? And you're there making sure that doesn't happen. Obviously, $100 million means nothing to you if you believe in this fight to make sure AI doesn't take over humanity.
That's a really good point. And what I've picked up from the Anthropic leaders so far is that they just have an extremely passionate vision for AI, one that is, not always positive, but also negatives. They always issue alerts on the jobs that will be taken by AI and so on. And I think that passionate vision they have trickles into the company culture, and that
I
the
think so.
people that are worker, the key people, really believe in what they're doing there. So much so that they'll turn down $100 million offer,
Yeah.
which is amazing. So the AI talent stuff is getting crazy though. Like the other things that are going on here is a trend called the reverse aqua hire. Excuse me.
Okay. So is this like with windsurf? Okay.
Yes.
What is that term? Yeah. Windsurf?
This is when a company, instead of buying or acquiring a whole other small company, they just poach the individual talent from that company and then leave that company basically like a zombie, like nothing was left there. And they just taken all the talent instead of buying the company.
So not only do they get the people they want, but they also kill a potential incumbent in the marketplace and put them in this weird state.
It's crazy. It's kind of crazy. It's a new method. It's been dubbed the reverse acquire, like hire. A little play on words there, and it does allow companies like Meta and Microsoft to bypass a lot of the regulatory scrutiny that would normally come with a full acquisition.
Yeah. Okay. Is that why they're doing it? Because of
Yeah,
the
it makes
regulatory
sense.
scrutiny? You know what has been done with Lena Khan over the past few years? It's really like they meant to do good things, but now it's causing all this weirdness that now has potentially screwed some employees of companies, right? And now they've also set precedent in Silicon Valley where you sign up to be an employee at a fast-growing company for the equity, right? And now when you see something like Windsurf or some others, it's like, well, that equity might not be worth anything, right? I might get screwed by one of these reverse acqui-hires.
It adds a whole other element of risk to startups. Is that and so now not only do you have to compete with other products that the big companies are able to fund and put out there, you have to compete with the hiring and recruitment of key talent. As a startup, it's pretty hard to offer them $100 million pay package.
Man, I'm just now piecing this together, actually. That was like one thing that startups had in their back pocket versus large companies.
Was the equity. That's why you would join a startup, because you get equity.
And now this has screwed smaller companies because it has made that a little more questionable. Like everything, like they're trying to clamp down on these acquisitions because they thought they were helping people. It hurt people so much. Now investors are thinking, well, I'm not going to get an exit here. And now employees are thinking, well, I might not get an exit here. Don't screw the free markets.
Should this be allowed? Should the government step in with regulations against things like this reverse acquire?
I don't think so. I'm very biased, but I also think I'm very right. This whole story of, oh, they're going to buy this company and like that's so bad for the little guy and they're going to build this big monopoly. This is not a monopoly on steel, like something in the physical world. These are all like clicks. There aren't monopolies like there used to be in the same vein, right? And so these are old laws, antitrust laws that are protecting people for software, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, stay away. I know you're trying to look for votes somewhere, but just like stay away from the greatest generator of wealth in this country, which is the tech sector.
In 2025, that is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. So the other trend right now with the AI talent wars is going to be what we call the great AI attrition. So this is really interesting. A recent study suggested that top performing AI employees are more likely to quit. And they're calling this the great AI attrition. And it's driven not by money, but just by fundamental disconnect between these workers and their employers. So these pioneers who are skilled using AI to increase productivity feel their contributions are undervalued and their companies are not adopting quickly enough to new AI-driven work culture. So they're leaving for companies, often smaller startups, that are more focused on integrating AI into their core mission rather than just using the productivity boost. So this does tie directly into kind of Anthropic CEO's point about being a mission-oriented talent group. It's interesting because the other thing that came out this week or recently was that, within the enterprises, 95% of these AI pilots are failing. So so people who might be, really skilled in AI, working for a big company, part of this AI that's failing in an enterprise, go, you know what? I can use my skills and talents at a smaller, more agile startup company, get a bigger pay package, get equity. Hopefully it'll be worth something. And they're leaving. So,
and I think just work among people that you respect. I mean, I've worked at a big company where I looked at every manager, the executives, and it's just like, I don't respect any of these people. These are horrible decisions.
well, there is a certain amount of a gap of technology adoptions that enterprises have, and when individuals are able to use ChatGPT or Google Gemini outside of work and go, wow, these are powerful, and then they go back to work and they're using 15-year-old applications, it's painful.
Yeah,
It's
really.
painful.
Think about that disparity.
Yes.
And a lot of these companies too, they can't use ChatGPT because of privacy, right? And
Ton of concerns.
Yeah,
A ton of concerns.
Which makes sense. But how frustrating would that be?
There are a ton of concerns about AI and privacy within enterprises. Specifically some on, hey, is this model being used? Is our data being used to train your AI model that will be used in other companies? That's a pretty big privacy issue right there. A lot of others. It's just an unknown that enterprises are slow to adopt, and that younger employees, I don't know if say younger, but employees who are using AI might be working with big enterprises that are still 10 years behind. So they might be leaving.
Or like a doctor's office, right? Because of HIPAA compliance, the doctor can't be like, those are interesting symptoms. Let me check my phone real quick. And they're like, ChatGPT says it's a cold.
Yes, that the healthcare and life science industry is always really difficult for solutions, AI included, because of regulatory compliance and privacy issues, and HIPAA specifically. But man, the use case for AI with diagnosis is strong.
It's really strong. I mean, to be able to collect an enormous amount of data, and then pull a diagnosis out of that. Doctors, a lot of what they do when they're diagnosing something, they're standing there listening to your stupid story about whatever happened. You told that person they shouldn't have done it. And it's like, this person's in here for a broken arm and I have to listen to this shit. And while I'm listening, like, draw out all of the important information, right? AI is really good at that. You can give it a really long story and it will draw out all of those details. And we're unfortunately making doctors put up with all of that during diagnoses, right? I could see it being a huge efficiency boost in the medical space, but it's so hard to get in there, right?
I think we'll see some good use cases come out of that, but there are some challenges. So the other trend with some of the AI and the AI hiring wars right now and the AI talent race is that it's actually a global talent now for AI. It's not just Silicon Valley. So it's a global race. And a significant portion, Nick, of the top AI talent is actually from other countries, particularly China. And
Doesn't surprise me.
While the U.S. might currently lead in attracting and retaining top AI researchers, there are signs that could be changing. Chinese researchers may be considering returning to their home country due to a combination of growing opportunities in China's own AI industry, as well as increasing suspicion and visa issues in the U.S. This adds a whole geopolitical layer to the talent war, and countries compete with the global leaders in AI. It's
very frustrating for people that just want to work on cool stuff with the smartest people, right? There are, I think there's validity to some of the concerns, right? But it doesn't surprise me that it's coming from China because they work their asses off in China. The culture there is different. People have gotten a little soft in the U.S., right? They have. I mean,
it's not even a controversial take. It's just true.
It's just true.
They make sacrifices that we don't, and they work very hard,
100%.
and they should be respected for that.
Yeah, 100%.
There are luxuries we have in the U.S., especially with the employee-employee relationship. That is just not the case, perhaps overseas. The 40-hour work week is nice. The holidays, there's a lot of a balance between the employee-employee relationship.
Work-life balance.
Work-life
balance.
Exactly.
Yeah. That anyone brings up the term work-life balance in the first interview, it's not a good hire. It's just the case because you know where their mind is at. You know what that means.
That is probably good advice. I think it's good for the employer, the hiring manager, to mention it because that's a recruiting strategy. But if you are employing for a new job and you're sitting there like, do you guys get Columbus Day off?
Yeah.
How late on Fridays do you typically go? Because afternoon, I am just
done. Because of Thursday night drinking, right? You understand. Plus, I'm not good on Mondays.
I suffer from a disability called time blindness, where I just can't use a calendar, and I need you to accommodate for me.
The whole talking against work-life balance, it sounds so mean or people are ready to jump on you. You don't care about people, but it's so much more, at least from my perspective and other people I know, it's because you want to work with people that are obsessed with the work because they find it fun. It's do you have any free time? Yes. I work more because I freaking love it, right? Those are the types of people you want.
Hold on. I'm going to disagree with you on this a little bit. You are a founder, an owner of the company. True. It's easy for you to be passionate and do the interesting work, but if you are hiring someone to do largely administrative tasks, it's going to be harder which is needed in every business. Every business needs admins still. It's going to be harder for them to find the same kind of passion to show up and give their best every day. It's harder.
Well, that I do agree with, but we don't have anyone doing administrative work. I do it. And other people on the team, right? But for the
be honest about the work-life balance, it gets abused.
Yeah.
It gets abused by employees.
Yeah.
The work from home, it gets abused. Sick days or vacation days or parental leave, it gets abused.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they shouldn't exist. It doesn't mean that's not the right thing to do for companies, but it gets abused.
Look at Barton Springs in Austin on a weekday.
How are so many people out in the lake on this Wednesday?
Yeah. What is going on? Wow.
You see one in the back of the boat with a laptop on a Zoom call?
Yeah, I don't think so. Right? And that's fine. And actually, that does work for a lot of configurations. And so much of my perspective really comes from an early company, right? And you have to be kind of hard on some of these things because it's so important. But there are fewer people that are that dedicated to building because they freaking love it, right? But at an early company, that is your job to find those people and not kind of bend to this work-life balance thing, right? Cognition, a growing AI company, they build basically AI developers. They just raised a massive round, by the way. I think it was $500 million. The CEO's been clear on that. This is a company that wrapped in windsurf, right? They grabbed all their employees. And then he made this statement not long after that. It seemed like it could have been because of some of the windsurf employees that said, there is no work-life balance here. Everyone here is dedicated to what we're building. It's 80-hour work weeks. I know that sounds extreme, but everyone here likes that. They want that from other people. Because it's contagious. You get one person in there that brings in their surfboard because they just, they came in at 10 o'clock and they were surfing and that's how they feel refreshed. It starts to wear on everyone else. You need everyone across the board as dedicated as possible.
Yeah, there's going to be backlash from people who are just employees and not founders. But you're coming this from the strict perspective.
Yeah, but look at these offers from Facebook to Anthropic employees, right? Those employees are working their asses off. Do you think any one of those employees uttered the words work-life balance?
No, but Nick, they also were looking at opportunities to make hundreds of millions of dollars or tens of millions of dollars within Anthropic, right? So
this is true, right?
You can't compare those workers, those leaders versus people who are just going to make $75,000 a year, and not have equity. You can only expect so much out of those people. And I that shouldn't be. That's pretty reasonable, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to say you pay for what you get, but in a certain way, there is a balance.
Maybe the disagreement or the loss in words of the argument here is about which employees are you talking about. If you're going to hire someone to come in and tidy the place and sweep the floors, you don't have a conversation with him like it's 80-hour work week. There's no work-life balance, right? But for early employees, for builders, for developers, that culture is really helpful to have people that just want to be working all the time because they love it, right?
Yes, and this is where our background I'm from big tech, you're from startup.
Actually, I think that's exactly it, right?
That's it. I see a different perspective on it, but I don't disagree with you because I don't think you can go into a startup with the thought that you're just going to put in 40 hours a week. Like it's your life.
Yeah, right.
It's your life. So
is it different for sales? Is it a little bit like there is actually value in like doing what may not look like work and you make connections and you go out for drinks and like that's literally helping you do your job?
I was going to come from a different perspective. So,
okay.
Sales is really interesting because the amount of hours you put in is not always directly associated with the outcome.
Interesting.
Where it is, I mean, you still have to put in the hours and do the work, but there are other factors that come into play in a sales role because our job isn't necessarily to work the most hours. Our job is to generate the most revenue as sales reps. So there are other factors in play that come into it. So it's how much do you prepare? What's your strategy? What's your relationship with the customer? How are you going to do this? How are you going to negotiate? What's the price? Like all those things you got to really think through. What is the customer's evaluation cycle? Who are the key stakeholders? There's a lot of things that doesn't necessarily mean like the hours you put in, but the process you go through, the resources you utilize, the people you pull in to help. And that does take time and so on, but it's not necessarily seen as, I'm in the office for 12, 15 hours, something like that. It's I'm executing this, the way the sales managers want to. So
interesting.
Some of it is like that. Now, I think the smaller or the beginner sales positions, like the SDRs, it's more of a grind. If you're selling smaller stuff, smaller dollar value stuff, it's a lot more of a grind. In that case, it is a lot more of the hours you put in. And then when you start to get into the high ticket items, your success is not necessarily, hey, I made 200 phone calls today. It's, how did I strategically plan to get this deal through? So it is a different perspective, perhaps. There is a work-life balance in sales. It can be more reasonable than other professions, I would say.
It's hard though, right? And it's a lot of hours, but there is almost a need for work-life balance.
It's not so much a need. It's just it's just the reality of the job. Like sales, it doesn't have the urgent deadlines that other professions might have. Software specifically, software evaluations take 8 to 24 months. So one of the worst parts about a software sales job is actually it's pretty slow and boring. It's pretty slow and boring. It's not daily stuff that's going on. Like you're just kind of waiting on customers to get together to get the meeting to schedule the thing. It's
like there's nothing you can do to hurry them up and read your email and answer.
It's very little. So there's things that are just outside your control. People you need to collaborate with that changes. It's a lot more of fluctuation where some weeks you're slammed and you have a lot to prepare for, and that takes a lot of hours. And there's some weeks where you just don't have a lot of meetings. So it does come more in waves. So, work-life balance, let us know in the comments below, what should the work-life policy be?
Everyone's going to agree with me that you should be working
I'm sure.
All the comments.
Sure.
Just wait, Peter. Everyone online on TikTok is going to say, I am for 80-hour work weeks.
Okay, then let me ask the question a little differently. How much money would a startup need to offer you to ask for 60 hours a week of work? What potential of equity would you need to be on board with that policy? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see what they say, Nick. All right, let's get into another topic here. Nick, 3D printing and the Gartner hype curve.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about this. I couldn't wait to show you some of this stuff too, right? Okay. So this is interesting. Are you familiar with the Gartner hype curve?
Is this the height curve, like the peak of height, the trough of delusion, that one?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So when a new tech comes out that's significant enough that it creates some buzz, everyone believes this is going to completely change everything. This is going to happen in the next 2 years. Everything's going to be different, right? And then there's this kind of heightened expectations, and then things kind of crash down into the trough of disillusionment, and then it comes back up after a few years, depending on how the tech, right, into, I think, the plateau of productivity, right? I think 3D printing, it has gone through this hype curve, right? And I think right now we're witnessing going into the plateau of productivity. It's cool to see that happen. Maybe 10 years ago, everyone was like, 3D printing is going to change everything, completely change everything. And then it just didn't, right? Do you have a 3D printer? Any 3D printed anything?
I do not.
So I've bought more than a few over the years. I think I even gave you one.
I can't remember.
I was moving and I was trying to get rid of junk, and I was like, I'll pretend like this is a gift for Peter, and I'll give it to him, and he'll have to say thank you, and then I don't have to take this to the junkyard. I think that's what happened. That was an older one. Now I've got this up in the corner, a Bamboo Lab printer. And this thing is amazing. And I think this is what is now going to change things. It's so easy to 3D print. It's no longer a hobby in and of itself, getting your printer to work. You hit print, the thing comes off perfectly almost every time.
So wait, maybe I don't understand. How is it different than previous models? How is it that much easier to use?
It's so much easier to use. It is just a huge collection of things. It's hard to nail down, but the software is excellent. When you send a print there, it comes off as you expect. There failures over and over is very common with 3D printing, right?
Oh,
it was so fast. It's so fast compared to others. That might be the biggest thing, because
that's what I remember from 3D printing. I was so surprised about how long it took to just create like a little piece.
Slow before, right? At least in comparison, it's fast, right? But it's quick enough that you can get into this fun, like, tweak your design, print it, look at it, not quite right, tweak the design, do it again. That now it's reasonable that individuals and companies can actually use 3D printing in their product, right? So at Avocado, we 3D print some of the iPad stands and hardware. Here, I'll show you. So Avocado, we build a point of sale, an AI-powered point of sale for restaurants. We were buying these stands off the shelf. They were like half as much as the iPads. It was so stupid, right? And after a while, I got so frustrated with the cost, I decided we're just going to 3D print these. Like, this printer is so good, we're just going to see if that works. And so I designed this up. Awesome magnets. Everybody likes magnets.
So you can just build that with a 3D printer. So essentially, if you have a business that is maybe a software business like yours, but there's a need for some small piece
Bingo.
I don't want to call it hardware, but like a manufactured piece,
something
3D printing can fill that gap.
Physical. Bingo. Exactly. Right. And so now this is like $5 of plastic, if that, and like $3 of magnets. What we're doing is every sales guy in the field just gets a 3D printer. Every deployment, he just hits print, right? It's a cool new configuration. And, not only does it save cost, it saves on, inventory and all that, but an opportunity for branding and an opportunity to make it just right for your end customer. It's pretty cool. Actually, I've got some more here. These wall-mounted things with magnets.
That's a pretty good solution. All right, yeah, I've got this next section. This is going to be fun. Next section, here's what we're going to discuss as we close out the episode here for the last 10 minutes or so.
Oh, we're going to build an app too.
We could do that too. What are your favorite tech business movies? So movies that have been made, in the last 20 years or so that really capture whether it be startups, business success, and tech. Kind of like think of The Social Network, which might be the, one of the best ones made yet. Social Network was about, Mark Zuckerberg and the founding of Facebook. Amazing movie. I loved it. I've watched it many times. What are ones that stand out to you? I've got a couple here that I've really enjoyed.
Let's see. The BlackBerry one was pretty good.
I was just going to say the BlackBerry one. The BlackBerry movie is really good. The BlackBerry movie is really good.
It's pretty funny.
It's really entertaining.
What's his name? Dennis from Always Sunny, and that
It crushed
hilarious.
it.
Crushed it. Right?
Yeah, the BlackBerry
What
one I
about
would
you?
put up on the must watch. Another one, and this maybe isn't as tech related, but such a solid business movie is called The Founder, and this is about Roy Kroc finding McDonald's.
Right. Tell me the storyline again, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, no spoilers, but essentially the story of Roy Kroc, he is a salesman. He's a hustler, and he comes across a small fast food restaurant, a McDonald's, and they were doing stuff that no one had ever done before, which is, making the meals ahead of time, having it ready right when you order. And then he decided, you know what, I can sell this. Let me build a franchise. But then the moves he made from there, again, I won't spoil it, was not just smart and genius, but also like kind of ruthless. At least how I depicted it. He did some very aggressive moves to take control of the business, which led to a lot of lawsuits and so on. But it is a case study in business, one of the most interesting case studies in building a successful business, and how he made pivots and made the business work. Because he was a failure for a long time. He was late in his life before he made McDonald's work, which is also an interesting story. Because you think of, people who start a company or a business or a new venture, they're in their 20s or so on. No, he was much older than that. I think he was in his 50s or 60s. So The Founder is another really good one. So we got The Social Network. We got the Blackberry movie. We have The Founder. Those are three pretty solid ones right there. Solid ones. And then, of course, you got to watch Silicon Valley, the TV show, right?
Oh, it's so good. It's so good if you know nothing about the culture of the Bay Area. But if you do, it's even funnier, because so much of the stuff that happens in that show, you think like it would never actually look like that. It does.
It does.
It's ridiculous.
It does. Yeah. They had one episode about software sales, and it's still one of my favorite episodes ever. I don't know if you remember it.
So for you, it like actually resonated with you?
So well. Yeah. So the software sales episode, it's funny. They're growing and scaling the company. And then one day the engineers just walk into the office and they see all these like well-dressed, put together people, and they look at each other like, these aren't engineers. And then it discovers that one of the investors hired a bunch of salespeople, and he's discussing like how he's gonna perhaps go to market plan and everything like that. And they're coming with ideas, and he goes, no, you don't understand. You have to make it easy for them to sell stuff, or they're just gonna go somewhere else. All that's very true.
That's hilarious.
Silicon Valley, for those who are interested in tech, interested in startups or so on, is a must-watch TV show. The last season, that doesn't end the best, I would say, but other than that, man, that show it's so funny, but nails so many things in Silicon Valley so well.
They did their research. Mike Judge, he did his research. Yeah,
they must have.
Yeah,
they must have had some consultants on there that weighed in on how to do stuff. That show is so good. All right, Nick, we're doing what are we doing right here?
We're back with Lovable. We're going to build an app. We're going to build whatever we want here.
So Lovable is a vibe coding app that allows non-developers like myself to go in here, describe the type of application, build out the requirements, and build out a web application within minutes, essentially, right?
Yeah. It is incredible to see. I mean, and it's so easy to do that you can sit and like do it for fun. Do something throwaway.
And let me add this before we get into it. One of the biggest opportunities right now with vibe coding is going to be duplicating existing successful applications with maybe a twist or a niche onto it with vibe coding. So if you research and see, okay, these applications are out here doing really well, you can easily take that success, reverse engineer in Lovable, and build a comparable product with your own spin on it, and make pretty easy money.
And you know what's funny, Peter, is that it is better at building things that already exist, because so many of the design patterns and what people expect, the AI is already aware of that, right?
Yeah,
and
I mean, do your research on IP and what where some complications might arise. Not legal advice, but this is a big opportunity to make money in 2025.
Totally. How about this? I am so lonely. Nobody likes my Instagram posts.
I can already tell this is going to sell. I can already tell their audience.
Yeah. Create a clone of Instagram that automatically likes and comments, positive comments on my posts. Oh, finally, social media is going to work for me.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat your prompt.
Okay.
I am so lonely. No one likes my Instagram posts. Create a clone of Instagram that automatically likes and comments positive comments on my posts. So is it building a robot for Instagram, or is it building a whole nother Instagram application?
It should build a whole separate Instagram clone.
Okay, so it starts to break down. It shows you as it's going features I'll implement, Instagram style photo feed, and then it has design inspiration. It's just knocking off Instagram. Instagram's iconic, clean photos. It does make me question, what is the point of intellectual property when we could do stuff like this? Hold on, you're moving your screen now.
Say again.
You're moving your screen. Yeah, keep it there.
Leave it large. So, I mean, the value of something like Instagram or Twitter is the network that already exists there. That's where the majority of the value, right? That's why you saw these people trying to knock off Twitter, like, oh, we could build a clone and it's going to work. It's not going to work because the whole audience is already there, right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. How long does this typically take with Lovable to generate applications? Probably depends on the complexity, I imagine.
It does depend on the complexity. The good news is we get to watch some of it go, but it will take about 3-4 minutes. Okay, it's using Tailwind to build this, which is very common with this, which is a structure. Look at this, and it's just writing all of these files one at a time here.
We might speed this up and edit, but this will just take a minute or two.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
You don't want to just sit and listen. Your people just want to sit and listen to us breathe.
Okay. Welcome to Lovegram.
Okay, so
every post
is done. Is it done now?
It's done.
Okay, so it's done now, and it's showing you a preview on the right-hand side of this Instagram dupe, essentially, it made.
Yeah.
And it did this. I didn't see the minutes, but like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes at least. Like not more than 5 minutes.
Oh my God! I can finally get likes on my posts. Just been so lonely. Look at this, and published. I clicked the button, publish. Now it's live.
Okay, so while we were doing that, Nick, I asked AI, what are the top 3 use cases for people to use vibe coding platforms like Lovable to generate revenue in 2025? Okay, so Nick just demonstrated how to use Lovable, and then here are use cases that you can take directly from this to make money. Building and selling.
Cool.
Yes, building and selling custom apps for clients. So vibe coding allows non-technical individuals to rapidly deploy web applications, dashboards. So, you used to have to hire freelancers on Upwork or Fiverr, but instead now you can really just make a product that's built for some of these small businesses. Another one would be creating and launching micro SaaS products. So this is a focus on small applications that you can release easier. So examples of successful micro SaaS applications including tool and automated review collections, a dashboard for data insights, or stock sync tool. So like a stock analysis, stock sync for e-commerce. And the third opportunity to make money with vibe coding in 2025, monetize digital products by bundling them with custom built apps. So creators who already sell digital products like ebooks or courses can use vibe coding platforms to create complementary web applications that add value to their offerings. So for creators selling productivity templates or so on, they could create now like a productivity application pretty easily. That's actually a great idea. I think the third one might have been the best idea out of all those, or more applicable to a lot of entrepreneurs, is that you can create your digital products instead of it being a PDF or a course, it can be a web application.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, one shift that we're going to see is how much more software can be built, right? You used to have to build one piece of software for a huge market and it has to work for everyone. It can become much more personalized, right?
Yeah. Powerful tools here. Powerful tools.
Oh my gosh, it's already working. I got 1 like. Let's see if I can show you here. Here's what I posted.
I see it. I see it. I can see it a little. That's why you post.
Caption
You were able.
please help.
Okay, so this is a web. This is a web app that you access through the browser on your phone.
Yeah.
And in minutes, you created this. In minutes.
Yeah. I don't have to use Instagram anymore. I can just post whatever I want here.
What's Lovegram? All right, so there you go. Follow Nick Evans on Lovegram. Like and subscribe. Only positive comments will be allowed on his Lovegram.
This gives me so much good vibes. Thank you.
All right,
oh
Nick.
Man, that feels good.
That was fun. Let's wrap. Appreciate everyone listening. We are a new podcast here, video centric. If you are looking to get into AI, whether you be an entrepreneur or whether you want to advance your career, this is the podcast for you.
This is the one.
If you could like, this is the one, not the others. None of the others. This is the one. Right? My background in big tech, Nick's background in entrepreneurship. We are pointing out the opportunities in 2025 where you can make the most money, right? Excel the most. Boom. And you get caught up on the AI news and you have fun. So if you could subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. Comment what you liked about it and comment what we could do better also, because we're also looking to change and improve this as we go. So good times, Nick. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, Peter.